What's up, Internet? It's your boy Cliff the Shadowcaster here with another episode of the Animated Gamers Podcast, where anime and game nerds collide. Thanks for joining us. This week, we're talking about superpowers. So if we had them, will we be good, be bad, or somewhere in between? But before we jump into that, I'm joined by my two good friends and co-hosts. First up, we have...
What's up, Internet? Foxtail here.
Rounding out the cast as always.
Eat the medicine, man.
What have you guys been up to?
I've been playing Resident Evil, man. Like, I beat that game. It took only like 9 hours, but like I really enjoyed that game. Went back and played Mercenaries some, and just like bringing back nostalgia from like playing Resident Evil 3 Mercenaries. But I really fucked with it, man. Like, I want to go back and like do some more stuff in it. But that Mass Effect came out, and I'm like, I want to play that. So I think I'm gonna jump into Mass Effect and probably put Resident Evil on hold for a little bit. But yeah, just been playing Resident Evil, man.
Do you plan on going through it again on other difficulties and stuff, or just Mercenaries?
Yeah, I do plan on going through it on other difficulties. It's just this lightsaber weapon that you can get if you like get all SS rankings on Mercenaries.
Whoa.
And I got SS on one of them, but then I don't know, dude. It's just too much time to go back and get SS on like all 9. Then if you mess up, you got to do it all over again. But I really want that weapon. But like I said, I'm gonna shift over to Mass Effect and play that for a bit, and hopefully, it brings me back to Resident Evil after like I stopped playing it for a bit, and then maybe it gives me more motivation to jump in and try that. Because right now, like I already beat the game, so it's like I'm not really motivated to do all that. But like maybe if I play a different game and like kind of like just shy away from it for a little bit, maybe it'll bring me back.
Yeah, okay, it's solid. Yeah, I've heard it's not that long too, 11 hours. So I'm gonna find a way to push through 7 once I finish it with Mass Effect. We'll talk about that later and then get to it because I'm trying to get crushed too. I'm trying to be on the train and get those mods too. But anyways, what you been up to, Ron?
Nothing much, man. Been chilling, finally got my controller back. Yeah, what I'm saying. But,
Rumor has it that John broke already.
Nah, chill. Don't jinx
It's just a countdown.
But yeah, I got the controller, so just jumped on some Dead by Daylight. Just had to get angry at that. To play some Siege. Had to snap on everybody about that. So yeah, everything's still ass. Yeah, I ain't missed nothing this whole week. But since I got the controller though, I'm definitely gonna jump in more on the single player tip. A couple games got added to Game Pass too, and you can play them on PC. I think Red Dead was one of them. Final Fantasy 10 and 10 too. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing Final Fantasy 10 again for the 30th time. Not going to beat it, but still going to load it up and play, just because I want to get the bad acting and nostalgia.
Have you beaten it?
No, the crazy thing is I always
That's
get to the same
crazy.
spot. That's crazy, right? Though I get to the same spot. Sin. I always get to Sin at the fight in Unesco. Always get to Sin.
This might be the time.
And yeah, you're on a spaceship and you're like preparing to fight him, and I always get to that part and just like for some reason never pick up the game again. Every single time, so.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? Get say put Siege on the shelf and stream that Final Fantasy. You finally beat that, John.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna put Siege on the shelf for a little bit after Siege Sunday today, which is like, man, this game it's just too much stress. I'm having an aneurysm.
Yeah, man, you gotta chill before you have high blood pressure and shit.
Seriously, bro. But yeah,
Day
man,
one with the remote.
Yeah, right. But since I got the controller back, I don't know. The not having a controller for like a week and a half was like, damn, man, I want to play something. And then, how now I had all that free time, right? Just so happened I had all that free time the last week.
Now you don't.
And now you're right. Now I won't have no free time. But I was like, man, I want to play some single player games. I really was like feeling the single player mood. And I wasn't trying to watch people play Resident Evil because I don't want to be spoiled from me. So I enjoyed watching you play Mass Effect, and I seen other people playing Mass Effect 2 like days ago. I guess people got it early, or I don't know how that worked. But I was watching people play like literally probably like Monday or Tuesday, and I just really was in the mood to play single player games. But no controller.
Have you booted up that Assassin's Creed new DLC, the Wrath of the Druids?
No,
I haven't played yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I still got to finish that. I'm actually at the end of that. I know that because I didn't get spoiled it, but I actually seen a list of missions one time, and it told me which missions. So, and I wasn't even looking for it. I was trying to find like the collectible things, and that popped up. And you know how now it's ruined for me forever. But I don't know the ending, but I do know that the missions, like the naming of the missions. So I know that.
But yeah, don't worry about the ending because there's multiple endings. So it's not.
Right,
I don't think it's like a true one. But there's
Right.
multiple endings depending on like what you chose for some of your actions or interactions with some of the people. So don't even sweat that.
Yeah. I just seen it like the naming of some missions, and I was like, oh, like that. It just kind of ruined that a little bit, but it didn't ruin any dialogue or anything from Super School. So yeah, just gonna jump back onto the single player tip. That's all I've been really trying to focus on. What about you?
As far as single player games, I've been playing Mass Effect. I mean, I ended up completing the first DLC. I think it's called Bring Down the Sky this morning by mistake because that's typically something you do later in the game. But I was just like scouting around and doing stuff, and it ended up being a transmission. I ended up just going there, and I was like, I'm spending like 2 hours here. This is a pretty long mission. And at the very end, I remember that it's actually a DLC. So I knocked that out. I'm actually like level 11. I haven't done any of the main story yet, so I'm about to be super overpowered, which is going to be amazing. But yeah, this game is beautiful. I love what they've done with this. This is like probably the best remake like they've ever done. I mean, besides like Final Fantasy VII, this is like right there. These are the top two as far as remakes. This is like the new standard. So if they make any other games, I see that there's rumbling about Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio possibly coming back. So if they do a remake with those, like this is like the golden standard.
We've been hearing about Jet Set Radio remake for like at least 10 years now.
That spiritual successor coming out next year, I'm going to get that too. I think it's like Cherry City, something like that. That looks crazy. So if it comes out, I mean, I don't mind getting both of them because it's dope. But
There's
aside
only, one more remake that I really want. Sorry to cut you off. Is Vice City. That's it. I got Mass Effect now. Now I want Vice City.
if anything, I think we were talking about this, what they may do for Mass or Grand Theft Auto 6. Because of that, the online is still there. They might do something in Liberty or Vice City in 6 and bring those characters back, but I don't think they could like remake that game. Would you buy it? Like,
I would buy that, bro. I mean, obviously with new upgrades and
because the map would
like
be
that.
super small compared to like newer maps. I would
Yeah,
expect.
I mean with newer upgrades or like kind of like what they did in Mass Effect, like made the like battle system better, the movement better, like obviously little nuances like that. Yeah, I would replay that. I would definitely replay that. Vice City was one of the best ones, especially not only because it was just how it looked graphically at the time and all the stuff you could do, but they had the system where you could have the businesses run even though it was like illegal businesses, right?
Yeah.
They never implemented that back, and now I still don't get that to this day. That was one of the most that added so much value to your game. Like even though you were finished, that added so much value to.
Don't they have like some of those elements in the online?
So they do. They have those elements in the online, but I don't want to play online. I just want to do it by myself.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Didn't you buy like GTA 5 a few times or one of them like
Yeah.
do the
Yeah, so I bought GTA 5 on 360, the Xbox, and I had the disc one time too. I bought GTA so many times, and I didn't like the story mode, so I never finished it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the game in general. I didn't like it in general. I gave it a couple hours, and I really just wasn't into it. Maybe I outgrown the Grand Theft Auto sandbox setting. I don't know, but I just didn't pique my interest like before. Before I would like go crazy. Before like I feel the same way with like Oblivion. Like I feel like if Oblivion come out, then I probably won't be as excited as I would have been.
Oh, that newest one when it comes out, that's going to be ridiculous when they
Right, and
finally announce that. It might be next E3. I'm not sure if it's going to be this one. And then they have the Starfield thing, like the outer space game they were making too. That should be announced pretty soon.
There's only like one remaster like I really looking forward to if they ever do it, and like I'll be good with it. It's like Metal Gear, the Metal Gear series. I'd be cool with that if they do that, or even just Part 1. Part 1 is like one of my most favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting too because it's such a weird game by today's standards. I mean, all of his games are pretty weird, but that one in particular is super weird. But aside from that, just trying to find new non-superhero TV shows. Jupiter's Legacy has torn the muscle. Loki's coming up soon. I mean, that's going to be a little different because he's not a hero per se. I tried to watch The Expanse and I couldn't make it past the first episode. But if any suggestions, please let me know because I need something.
Gonna ask y'all because I've been scrolling through Netflix for like an hour and just end up not watching nothing. That's one of the worst experience in the world, bro. Scrolling through Netflix or anything you got for like an hour and end up watching nothing.
Rob was talking about it too. They got the random button there now because they know people have a hard time looking for it. I'm gonna just start watching like B tier movies again because I like those weird science fiction movies. So I might just like run through those until I get tired of it. And so happen to find a show because, like I said, I'm just tired of superhero stuff. I don't really like crime shows either. But yeah, any suggestions, I'm down for that. But let's jump into the topic. So, Dave, this is your topic for the week. We've been talking about this for a long time. If we had powers, how things would go. Like, so yeah, I mean, would you start? Would you let us know, where this idea came from and where would you be on the spectrum?
It just came from basically just watching all these superhero movies, like you said, like there's The Boys, there's Invincible, all the Marvel stuff coming out. So like, and we talk about it, like bits and pieces like each episode, man. If I was a hero, I'd do that, man. I wouldn't save this person. I wouldn't do that. So I figured, like, why not just like air it all out and just like expose us to see
Oh,
if
so we
we
about to get
could.
exposed.
Let's just air it all out and see where we would be if we had like powers and whatnot. But like before we get into that, like we let each other explain. Like I want to like see how well we know each
Ambushed.
other.
I feel
I want to see how
ambushed.
I want to see how well we
ambushed.
like know each other and like take a guess on like what we think each other would be. Like for instance, I think Rod, if he had superpowers, I think he would like start off as a hero and then like slowly go into like being a villain, but like not know he's a villain. You know what I mean? Like he the type of dude that like he what he thinks he's doing is the right thing, but he like killing everybody and he don't realize he the villain. He the one on the news that everybody after. But like in his mind, he is like 100% doing the right thing. And like Cliff,
Think.
if we're like Cliff, I think like he would be like a vigilante. Like he's doing good, but like he ain't afraid to cross a few fucking lines if he has to. So but
Exposed.
that's what I think for you guys. Expo, but like I don't know if you guys want to take turns and guess for each other, but that's what I think you guys would be.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
First off, you pegged me right, cause I don't think I don't think I would be in a situation where I don't know I'm the villain. I know I'm gonna be like, fuck y'all gonna do about it. That's my whole thing. This is how it should be. The fuck y'all gonna do about it? That's how I'm gonna be looking at things. But yeah, I think you pegged Cliff right. I don't know, Dave. You too nice, man. You probably gonna be a nice guy. And I'm gonna have to take you out, man. You probably gonna be the hero. And I'm gonna have to do what Omni Man did to everybody.
Wow, it's like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like that.
Gotta take them all out.
I definitely see the
Think,
superhero, but
man.
we could coexist. I wouldn't have to fight with Dave. You know what? Like, all right, you got it this time. You're right. You know, maybe what you're saying is the right idea. I'm gonna just fly away right now, but I mean that's totally the right answer. What you you said for me. If you watch me play KOTOR or Mass Effect, you know I'm always looking to advance society, but sometimes people have to be, you know, talked to a little more sternly than others. So yeah, that's definitely where I am on that. And then Ron, that's 100% correct. So I think it sounds like we know each other pretty well. What type of powers would you guys want to have? I know my answer. I love telekinesis. It's the OP power. It's every power because it goes along with your creativity and your willpower. So if it's something that you want to get more powerful in, you just have to practice in that way. And telekinesis is pretty much everything. You can fly. You're super strong. You can make your skin stronger. You can throw objects. You can control fire. All types of shit. So I'm going telekinesis.
It's the same thing, bro. Like being OP, like controlling metal was cool. I always thought that was cool for Magneto. So like I wouldn't mind having that power too. But like anything OP, like just Omni-Man power, Superman powers, invisibility would be dope. Controlling magnetic fields, like all that shit would be dope to me, bro.
My power is broken, bro. My shit literally broken. Controlling time, bro. That's the most OP thing you could ever do because nobody can ever stop you, ever. Period. I don't care how fast the Flash is. You just be like, oh, freeze time, snap your neck. Like that's it. GG. I always choose time travel anytime I have this debate, either it be on the Twitter fingers or just any social place, because it is super OP and I can get so many things done. So imagine just being able to go back in time and be like, yeah, y'all fucked this up, and then let's try this again.
You'll be changing so much shit though, bro.
But then you know what though? See, I would be making the utopia, bro. I'm telling you. The reason why I would do all that stuff, and it's the same thing. Like I say, the reason why Thanos is my favorite villain is because he's in actuality he's trying to create a utopia, like, you know, for the whole world. He's trying to make everything fair for the whole world, and whether you like his methods or not is obviously up for debate. But that's exactly what he's trying to do. So I could see myself being like Thanos, where it's like, listen, I'm gonna do all the shit that y'all not willing to do, or y'all not thinking about doing, and I'm gonna try to make a utopia. So if I can go back in time and get rid of all the shit that's bad, then why the fuck not? Even if that just means killing Hitler, like, while he's a baby, like, just be like, right in his while he's playing with his binky, just off him right then and there. Don't even think.
Got the pinky in his mouth. Here you go.
Damn.
He got the binky in his mouth and just be like, oh, bye bye. I mean, it sounds cruel, but then who would if anybody could stop him before he become who he become? Why wouldn't you, right?
I always thought of when people say that, not saying that that's not the right answer, because, you know, Doctor Who and everyone else says and does things like that. if there's a way to try to talk him into another path at a younger age,
Yeah.
or taking him out as an adult and then swaying the people once you have their voices there and swaying them in another direction.
So you saying let him show how evil he is and then go
No, like steer him into a different direction. Like maybe like some parts of his childhood, like remove that and like maybe play a different scenario in.
too much energy
But-
time.
Alright, so-
You want the easy
Okay.
way.
So
I mean, that works too. I always thought it'd
Yeah,
be
I
cool to
guess.
send people back in time too. Or I had this
Yeah,
one
yeah, I told
story
you.
of
That's
someone
it.
who's like the time traveler's wife. You said that was a really good one of your favorite movies. You can't really control when you go back in time or what you're doing, so you just like kind of, all right, I want to do this right now, and then hopefully this happens, and then something else goes wrong. You could turn like shift people and buildings back and forward through time. I think that would be a cool concept too.
So, like, living in today's world, what do you guys think? Will you guys be a hero or would you guys actually be a villain? And, like, what's your reasoning behind it?
Well, I mean, it's funny because what is good and evil nowadays? What is
I know, right?
the lines are so blurred. I know for me, I always said like war and stuff shouldn't even be a thing. So if there's a way to like facilitate conversation, because I mean, violence is the great equalizer, but I would much rather try the conversation first. And me being impregnable, they can't shoot me or anything. They gotta listen. So I would try to go that route first. And if not, I'm just taking all your weapons and stuff. I'm definitely doing that first. I'm taking everyone's weapon, throwing them into the sun. That's the first thing I'm doing.
Are you saving everyone though? Like, if you just say
If I can help it.
you just say you flying in the sky and you see a fight break out, you helping that, or you just gonna let them ride?
I ain't got
Like
time.
little shit like that. Like,
Oh, that's kind of stuff is fine. I'm on a big picture, this more societal issue. Small stuff, y'all got that.
I know, right? Same thing with me. Like, if I
But
saw like a shootout
genocide
or
and all that
something-
type of shit, that gotta go.
Yeah, same. I agree with you. Like all the war shit, like trying to help, like end world hunger, like genocide, like you said. Yeah, I'm all for that. But then, like, if I'm just like flying the sky and I see like a shootout going on, no, I'm sorry, bro. You got that, bro. Y'all
That's
got
like
that.
that's like Omni Man. That's below me.
Yeah.
That's beneath.
like I'm being real here, bro. Like y'all got that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what the police is for. You guys got that. I see a fight break out, like any shit like that, like a car
What do you
accident
say?
or shit, like y'all got that, bro. I'm sorry, but y'all got that.
What did he say? He said make him earn his paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I would definitely be thinking big, like so, given my power with time control, right? So then let's say I go back and I just stop the Manhattan Project where no nuclear weapons was ever created. I have the knowledge, I know about it, but no one else knows about it. So then Japan never gets bombed. I mean, but the war probably never happened in the first place because I'll make sure I stop that too. So yeah, but I wouldn't rule in tyranny, but I would definitely be like I would definitely have flat out rules. Like I always said before, like Omni-Man has the right idea, and I said this about Superman. If Superman really wanted to help, if Batman really wanted to help, the Justice League really wanted to do something, then they would be the ones in power. Period.
So you killing villains.
Oh,
If
yeah,
it
for
came down to
sure.
it, you killing
Oh,
villains.
listen, killing Joker is not. It wouldn't even be a question. First off, I'm gonna lock you up the first time, right? But after the 10th time, you didn't escape. No, bro, come on now. No, I'm
There was the one meme where it says like the civilians looking as Joker runs through a building, like and killing thousands of people. You see Batman take him to jail. Like
Yeah,
you just
like-
see murders so many people each year. Why do you
Yeah,
allow this guy to keep escaping?
Right, dude, and I'm quite sure. And we was watching this with the Legacy show. Like even some of the civilians was like, why? Like like is he going to? There's one scene where they asked if one villain is dead also, and no, the villain did die, and they was looking like at the chick like why? Like why did you let him live? Like look what he just did. So I'm quite sure there's people be on both sides. Like villains' lives matter too. But if Joker blew up the Empire State Building the third time this year, but no, come on now. Now no, he got to go, and I'm gonna make it out, and I would do it on public affair. I'd be like, this is what's going to happen to you if you want to start acting crazy.
Bring it to the news station, do that shit on live TV.
Live TV, just snap his neck and call it a day. Rip out his eyeballs and be like, see.
Here's
Just on
another
TV.
question. Here's another question I pose to you guys. Okay, say if you guys want to do good and you guys like want to be heroes, right? Because this stems from like watching The Boys, and like how, like they're like basically like being run as a company, like heroes, and like they're letting these regular people talk to them however they want and like do whatever they want to them, even though they can just like kill them in like a beat of a heart. Like, would you guys like take all that shit from people? Like, how much is enough until you finally like you're like, no, fuck you guys. Like, I do whatever I want. You can't stop me. Like,
Now
how
I'm
much is
personal
enough until like
contractor.
you get?
That's
Yeah,
kind of what he do now. That's kind of what he started to do in the boys. Like,
that's what I'm saying. But like at what like why are you letting them talk to you like that, bro? You basically Superman. You can do what you want. So like for me, like no, I'm not letting nobody talk to me like that if I got fucking powers. Now you done so right off the rip. And then that's what I'm saying. Like you start off as a hero, but then you do some shit like that. Like they talking to you like any way, which way they want. They like disrespect you like that, and then you all of a sudden you kill them for doing that. All of a sudden you turn into the villain in their eyes.
Because
Right,
where does it
I
stop?
hear.
Because that's the thing too. I get that people be scared because you have this ultimate power, and I see that you're doing the things we like you to do, but then once you have to go against like say a domestic issue, now people are gonna look at you sideways because you did all this stuff overseas, and that's fine. But once you do it here, they'll probably start when does it stop?
I mean,
Mhm.
so there was a an God damn, what's the over Watchmen. So there's a part in the movie where he goes, when it I forget the guy, the blue dude, his name right now.
Mr.
It's
Manhattan, Doctor Manhattan.
yeah, yeah, Dr. Manhattan. So where he's like, they show him on the TV, whatever, and he goes, God actually does exist, and thank God he's American, right? And
Oh
then
yeah,
that
the whole part with Vietnam, right?
yeah, so that actually stuck with me for like a long time because it's like thank God they meant that, like thank God he's American, because if he was, let's say, obviously arch nemesis of America for whatever reasons is like North Korea. So imagine if he was like born in North Korea or something like that. So if
Mhm.
I'm not, so then that raises other questions where it's like, yeah, if you do it domestically, but if there's other superheroes or villains, super villains in the world, then you probably would see war on a different scale. But if you do it my way, where it's like y'all could run this joint by face, like y'all could vote for whatever president y'all want, but that motherfucker gonna answer to me, because if you do anything crazy, then that shit a wrap for everybody. So
Yeah, see, and once you do that, once it's a wrap for everybody, now everyone turns against you. So like, are you still a hero at that point? Because in
right,
their
so
eyes, you're not.
So okay, so that's really hard to decide, because if I do it my way, right, and let's say y'all don't like it for 10 years, right? Let's say y'all hate me for 10 years, but then y'all look up and say, hey, shit, like, we got a utopia. There's no disease in the world. Like everything's fixed up. We're straight.
But you know they plotting to kill you though,
Well, that's
right?
the Flag
Right.
Smashers and the whole thing with the we're dealing with now in the MCU that people are saying like maybe it was better, when Thanos did his thing.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I love that of that part in the show on Falcon Winter Soldier, and like I raised to you guys, like that part stuck out with me so much, because that like solidified what Thanos was basically saying. Like, so in the Falcon Winter Soldier, they basically was saying, like, you got little tidbits of the world was great when everybody was gone, because it actually was being like united people. Everyone was united in that situation. And I say this in IRL, like the one thing that would unite the whole world is if there was an alien invasion. That's the one thing that would unite the
You need a
whole
common
world.
enemy.
Mhm.
Exactly, a common enemy. So since everybody had a common enemy in Thanos, and whatever, that any enemies that's out there, then the whole world was acting up. But as soon as all the heroes came back and the humans, everybody started coming back after they reversed it, then everyone went back to their nasty ways, their nasty racial,
Yeah,
uh,
basically they ain't learned shit from that.
yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, everything cool now, so let's just go back to what we was doing, and they ain't learned nothing. So, and then I would love to think about psychologically. So the one half that came back, they came back not knowing that they were gone, right? So they came back with their same mindset. But the people who was there that whole 5 years, they don't have the same mindset or thought process anymore. So it actually should have been like a large scale civil war than what we saw in the show, because it should have been more people thinking the same way that the militia was thinking.
That's one thing I
Just
hope that comes back and stays around too, because I mean, they did bring it up and it's super important, like you said before, the whole thing with Sam said, and the discrepancy between the people who left and those who stayed behind, and they could come up with a whole bunch of other storylines in the future too if they keep this common threat prevalent. So I hope they don't just drop it with the Flag Smashers, or if they inspire another group. And I'm thinking the Thunderbolts might come in here eventually too, run by John Walker. That'd be cool.
yeah, yeah, that's cool. I don't think that even in the next, like, Avenger movie or whatever the case would be, they should still have some type of part, or that should still be dialogue that's being kept. Like, was things better? Like, we should always question, was things better? So to answer you, Dave, yeah, they might hate me for 10 years, and they might want to still kill me afterwards, but everyone's better off now, and you can't
Hmm.
argue that. You can't argue. That's irrefutable evidence. Everyone would be better. And same thing with Thanos. It's like irrefutable evidence. Like they're saying like shit was better. And even the congressman was like, yeah, things were better, but now it's like complicated. It's complicated now. And think about it. If the whole world didn't have borders and stuff like that, that's how the world should be. IRL. Why do I have to do all this stuff to travel somewhere that my God-given right said I can travel? The earth is supposed to be mine, and everything that's under is everything that's in it is below me. So I should be able to go anywhere I want. But instead, I can't.
Like
Crazy.
one thing with me, like if I had powers,
you
like
get up and just go live anywhere in the world you want, but you can't. You
Yep.
literally can't do that, which is crazy to me. That blows my mind. That literally blows my mind that you can't just get up and say, you know what, I feel like living in Peru this year, and just go to fucking Peru and just say, all right, boom, I got my house, I got an apartment or whatever kicks me to live there. You can't do that. You literally can't do that.
you got to do all this other shit.
There'd be no rich people to, people be
Right.
happy. There'd be no reason for you to, man. We can get into
Dude.
all that shit, man.
Dude,
At
that
some
movie-
point.
Right. I mean, this is that movie with Justin Timberlake. That movie that was about time. Like.
Oh yeah, in time.
Yeah, in time. That was crazy to see how they segregated everything off with the, with the time, but whatever though. But yeah, so man, if I had the superpowers, man, y'all gonna do what I said, man. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
basically. And I'm also not gonna let it turn political with me either. Like a lot of shit, they try to control you and
Yeah.
like tell you what to do and use you as a weapon. Nah, none of that shit. Like Ron said, like it's like I don't like to think like I would be like a villain, but at the same time, you gonna do what I say.
Sound you turn into a villain to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna
hold
listen
up.
to everybody viewpoint for sure, and I'm definitely going to promote conversation. And
Yeah, for sure.
listen, I'm gonna lock this whole room down. I'm gonna put y'all on this volcano until y'all do what y'all need to do. I'm like that point because, and then the fist will fly or the eye lasers or whatever because it's going to be easy. Or just
Yeah,
crush the
like-
fist and it's like
But
your
here's,
soup
here's the
now.
way. Here's the way that you'll be able to. This is the easiest way that if I had powers, the easiest way that I would decide what was right and what was wrong. Are you doing it just for money? Because if you are, which most countries are and most people are in general, then all right, that's not the right thing to do. So if you telling me you're not giving this country the answer to this cure just because you want to sell the cure to them. See, we're not having that. See, now, all right, so give it to them, or I'm gonna blow your whole fucking place up. So which one
Yeah,
you want?
same thing with me. Like if I see a huge issue, y'all got a day to fix this, or I'm gonna fix it.
Yeah, so that's where I always be easy for me to draw the line. Like, is it all about your dollar? If it's about your bottom line, then I know that it's not the right thing to do. Because so many things, politically or non-politically, get stopped or halted or even proceed further because of money. Like they burnt the Amazon down because they want to use it for they want to plant more trees, but then use it for harvesting. So like places like IKEA and stuff like that could get more wood to build more fucking dressers. Like we really need that.
Yeah,
So
that's
something
crazy.
Like that. Yeah, so something like that, I'd be like, nah, IKEA. See, listen, this is how it's gonna go down. I'm gonna destroy half of y'all stores, and you gonna work with that. All right, cool. All right, bet. I'm out.
That's kind of challenging because you may bring up some other issues. One thing in particular that I think about that keeps me up, and I was also thinking about, talking with you guys about this at some point with the whole mining thing in different parts of Africa. We need those metals, or I won't say we need, but we use those metals for cell phones and our electronics. Now, if we go over there and I stop that from happening, of course there'll be, less child deaths. We could probably, keep that money and stop making America rich off Africa still. One of the things that we kind of overlook, that we're still, mining this continent that's making us rich over here. But that's one thing. But I would stop that immediately. Now, we're not going to have cell phones anymore. What are we going to do about this?
Easy, man. I got a fix for everything.
Yeah, but
But also, that's not really a big concern. People having cell phones, honestly. But that's one of the things that I would do and stop immediately. But of course, that would be a major issue for people.
But then, yeah,
it would
but then
paint me as a
turns-
bad guy.
But see,
Yeah, but then it turns political. Same thing with Ron. You destroy half of IKEA or you destroy half of whatever. Like they're not gonna sit there and be like, they're gonna let it happen because they can't do shit about it. But they're gonna try to like everything they can do to stop you. Like, what can I do, like to write a law, I guess, to try to stop you from doing this or doing that or prevent this shit from happening? Is it gonna work? Probably not, because like you said, Ron's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants anyways. But that's still not gonna try to stop them to like turn it political and try to like make all these laws to stop you from doing what you think is right, which is probably the right thing anyways.
The best
So then
option is to have cosmic powers because you could do it and then just leave Earth for a couple years. And then come back with like, y'all good now? Y'all see, what I did was a good idea. Because if I'm
But why
still
would
here,
you have to leave
y'all
though?
gonna-
That's the thing.
because people are greedy, man. I mean, it's the reason why, there's child labor and all the crazy
Yeah.
shit happening in the
It's over
continent
money,
right
bro.
now is over cell phone metals and the stuff with PS5s. You know, we talk about
Telling
these
you, man.
consoles and shit like
Get rid
that,
of
but
it.
we got to think about where these raw materials are coming from and the people that are being exploited for these things.
And on top of
I
that,
mean, if you really look
it's
at it, we are
it's
contributing
finite
to
too.
this.
On listen, and those and with the number one thing that people never that everyone fail to realize is that those things are finite.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They are finite. So people fought people fought over history of time over materials, whether that be a cow or chicken or gold or whatever, money and religion. That's the three biggest things that causes all wars, right? So if you could just stop the Jones, man, I would get rid of money. That's first off, because now if you ain't got to worry about money, and nobody got no. The only reason why money exists is to give people stuff to do. That's the only reason why money exists. So get rid of that, and on top of that, if you stop, so if you do the Cliff's way, right, with your powers, and you say, man, I'm gonna stop y'all from doing this thing. The number one thing that creates, the inventors and ingenuity is literally out of necessity. That's why most of all the best inventions has come during wartime, because that necessity creates ingenuity. So the fact that Cliff would take that stuff away, people would find another way to make cell phones or use cell phones.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I mean, and you know the reason behind it or the root cause of it would save so many more lives and enrich the continent in so many other ways. You know, you think about how much money is being made off of diamonds, jewels, gold, and stuff, and think about an average worker only making $7 a week.
Mhm.
What kind of shit is that when you have a
Yep.
$1,200 cell phone in your pocket and the person who helped make that cell phone is living in a closet?
Yeah,
You get what I'm
basically
saying? Like the
what
discrepancy
it
right there. That needs to end. And if I had the power to do that shit, it would be over immediately. Let me go into outer space and some light go through my body and you can see my skeleton. I'm changing shit immediately.
Yeah, what it sounds like, Cliff is just like he's weighing the options. What's more important here? And like, yeah, I agree with him, dude. Like, you gotta see what's more important, what's more beneficial for like human life.
Whatever I
Yeah,
say,
you
man.
want to
Yeah,
scroll on
he right.
Instagram or you want to is Instagram really that important for you to see all this? I mean, y'all look at the same stuff anyway.
That scrolling, man, is dangerous,
That
bro.
doom scroll. Who
I'll be
who
like,
would
yo,
I want to
watching.
know who y'all villains would be, or if like I'm obsessed with like because you can't really control what power you have, right? And
Hmm.
oftentimes, like in Sky High, I always think about Sky High and that kid that turned to a puddle. Every power isn't useful. So if you had like a joke power or gag power, what would that be? I know for me it would be something to do with time or speed, because I'm gonna be late for my own funeral. That's just how it's gonna happen. And for in some reason, I'm gonna like try to go super fast, but then be stuck in slow motion or something like that. That would be like my gag power.
I don't know. My shit probably like phasing through walls or some shit. I don't know, bro. Like, I would thought that'd be cool too. But if I had to pick like at least like a good one, a bad one, I guess probably phasing through shit. Even though it doesn't really sound terrible, but it's not as good as like other shit.
The biggest troll power would probably be X-ray vision. You literally can't do nothing with that.
You can't
Literally
Which
control
one?
the X-ray. How about
Which
that?
one do you got?
nothing. You can't do nothing about it. Then it just happens randomly. You start seeing with people in person. Like, oh, look at her. The hell's her? You start looking at it. This dude got $2 in his wallet. Look at that
You'd be a
shit.
great
I think
magician
people like
though.
being
Be an
able to
awesome magician.
read
Right.
people's minds. It's like some of that shit won't even be useful. Like you said, Ron. Some people don't have voices in their head, so you really just listen to somebody just clicking today.
You see the ping pong, bing, boop, boop.
No, I hear that fucking AOL dial-up note.
A side note: we watched a video of a Q&A of people who don't hear the voices, and it's fascinating, man.
I told you. I
It's
told
like
you. It was gonna keep
autopilot.
you up. I told you it was gonna keep you up. Oh, no. Listen, that shit kept me up. Listen, for all y'all listeners out there, bro. Listen, everybody don't have a voice in their head, and if you don't have one, that's cool. But I want you to know that it ain't your fault when you be sitting there wondering why people don't understand what you're trying to explain. It's because they don't have a voice in their head, bro. And if you don't believe me, Google it. That I'll just leave that there. Just go ahead and check it yourself, because that kept me up for nights. I said, nah, I gotta get to the bottom of this. There's no reason why. It ain't me. I know it ain't me. I was stressing. Is it me? Is it me? Is it
Wait,
me?
am I the NPC? Am I
Yeah,
not the main
my,
character?
right. I started really.
My character.
I started really thinking about it. Then I went to this crazy Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole about it, and I said, "Yo, it's actually one of the most highly debatable things by neurologists. Ain't that something crazy? They get together every year talking about to not to think or not to think. But man, yeah. As far as the powers tip, man.
I feel like in conclusion, like all of us agree, we get power, we gonna do whatever we think is right, whatever we want. We ain't gonna let somebody else persuade us what to do.
Right, and I'm with listening to people. I really am listening, like listening to people's causes and what they think is right, and I'm listening because I don't pretend to know everything, right? So and that's the reason why you have specialists, right? They know something. So the specialists might be able to tell me like, listen, economically wise, you can't destroy half of IKEA, bro. Like you're gonna put a lot of people out of jobs and stuff like that. Like somebody might tell me that, and I might say, yeah, so what, and then do it anyway. But I definitely would listen to people's counsel on what to do.
I'm gonna hear you,
I'm gonna hear you.
but put the laser down. Now I'm listening to you before I use it.
Right, yeah. So I'm gonna listen to to people that's smarter than me on these topics and see what's the best form of action to go. But I would also force everybody to find an alternative, because if I feel like it's not the right thing to do or I don't want it to be done, then I'm gonna say find an alternative. Find an alternative. And you can't find one, then I guess you gotta go.
My boy Dr. Doom.
I heard the sun nice around this time of year.
Oh, you gonna kill them instead of you finding a solution yourself?
I can find a solution. They ain't gonna like the solution. Destroy half our kid. Now find a different solution if y'all don't want that.
My boy
How
Dr.
much-
Doom, he's gonna get his own country and
How much
shit.
time you giving them? How much time you giving them?
Dude, how much time? All right, how about this? I'll let them give me the deadline. It was gonna take 2 weeks. You got one.
Okay, I feel that. Okay, and that shit don't work out. I'm doing what I want. I
Yeah,
agree.
I mean, because then there's a lot of things that like could be done. Like for instance, I tell people all the time I'm being about electric vehicles, which is great. But at the same time, like the batteries got to go somewhere and they die, right? Batteries die. That's what they do. People not think about that right now. Somebody should be thinking about that. Like in 25 years, it's gonna be a pit of just dead car batteries from all these electric vehicles, right? So that's something I would tell somebody to figure out. Like, how can you recycle these?
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
the
design them
thing.
in such a way so that it doesn't become
Mhm.
a burden.
But they
Because
not.
man, that
So,
trash island that's just floating around in the ocean and all that plastic, man. I mean, I'm gonna probably be long dead before they have to deal with that, but that's still terrible.
that's
Oh,
crazy.
and then the shit in Japan, the nuclear waste they got to cycle out for the next couple decades when they had the tsunami,
Dog.
Bro,
bruh.
you watch that? You watch that Seaspiracy yet, Cliff? Watch
I
that.
I
bro.
like
Oh,
no,
I
because
had
I like
powers.
eating salmon.
If
I
if
can't
had
watch it.
powers, If I had powers, bro, I'm fixing that immediately. Immediately. That is top of my list. If I had my power, dog, I would first off, I'm going back in time and fixing all that. That's just first off. I'm just anybody want to kill fish
By
and man.
fixing, you mean killing?
No, I'm going to deter them. Yeah, I'm killing them. Yeah, the hell wrong with you? Yeah. You like killing dolphins? Okay. You dead too, then. Dog. And I'm telling
So
you.
like you don't think you go back in time instead of killing, you go further back in time and destroy all this equipment or destroy all the plans that created this equipment, that created the boat, that created the ship, that created this machinery to do it.
Okay, so then so obviously the nice and logical way to do it would be go back in time and explain people with something, because people didn't have this data too, so it's also not much of people's fault, because no one was thinking ahead, like I just said about the battery thing, right? So no one was thinking that, come to find out, one of the reasons why the world is warming up is because it doesn't have enough coral reefs, and come to find out, these reefs was actually sucking up like 30% of all the all the toxins that was going into the air and all the carbon that was pushing air, not trees.
Well, they knew. They just didn't realize it until it hit them. Everything on this fucking planet has a purpose. So like before you start taking shit away and destroying shit, you gotta think to yourself, what is this gonna do?
Right,
And
so
obviously they don't care at that time. They care when it actually affects them, like right now.
So like the battery thing, yeah, you're not gonna care, like Cliff said about the trash thing. So yeah, so then, but the nice thing to do would, for me, would be to go back in time and give people the foresight to say this is gonna happen. So before you do this thing, you need to find a solution for this thing. Otherwise, I'm not gonna let you do it. If you come up with a solution, okay, cool. And then I'm gonna let you come up with a solution. I'm gonna let you invent it, and I'm gonna go forward in time and see if it worked. And if it didn't work,
Yeah, you gotta check this again. You gotta check your work.
yeah,
Got
Somebody didn't carry a zero. Come on, come back and
Yeah.
come fix
He
it.
said, I gotta proofread your shit.
yeah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go forward in time, and if maybe shit works for all we know, but and if it's better, I'm like, all right, yeah, go ahead and do that. And if it's not, I'll be like, somebody, yeah, you didn't carry the zero. You didn't carry your one, bro. You didn't carry.
You
your
know
one.
what that mean, right? You gotta go.
I guess. I heard Pluto nice this time of year.
It's a reality
But,
show called Dunzo. See if you get shot to Pluto or not.
That's how that. I mean, that would be the nice political way to do it. So I could do it that way. But I'm telling you, there'd be so many things, bro. I would be back. I'd be back and forth in time all the time, every day. I'd just be like, nah, these pickles is weird.
The littlest thing that pisses you off. It could be something so minor. It could be something so minor, bro. Like
Could be something about Siege or something. Like, you know what, this person's an idiot on the phone. Let me go back in time and go fix this.
Destroy the phone.
I'm like, damn, this bridge like a rickety. Let me go back in time and tell boy, yo, let you know right now that shit gonna fall off in the next in 50 years.
You find out boy was sleeping on the job. Get your ass up.
Yeah. Go back and stop Benjamin Franklin for using the key with the kite. Like, listen, there's better ways to do this, bro.
I'm gonna set us back 500 years, man.
Yeah. Talk about something he'll go into the future. He'll go into the future and be in the past and wonder why.
I'm like, hold on. Wait a second. This
you gonna fuck around. You gonna fuck around, get caught in one time zone that you can't get out of. Watch.
Hey man, as long as it's my utopia, I'm cool.
It's gonna be fucking before the fucking light was on Earth, and you gonna sit there with a stale face, twiddling your thumbs and shit.
Everybody in outer space.
Tell me something. At least I ain't got to deal with no idiots. At least I ain't got to deal with people without voices in their heads.
Oh, you know the thing about time travel too that I wanted to put out there before I forget is that the Earth always moves. So when you travel through time, are you going to the exact space, or like how are you going to make sure that you land on in the same area? I always just thought about that because you're not going to land on the Earth because the Earth moves. Mm-hmm. So you might just come back and you just be in outer space.
Looking at it in the distance, telling myself, "Oh shit, there it is."
For that split second.
All right, so that's the case, and I gotta become an astrologist and know where that shit at all times.
I just always thought that was fascinating to me.
Yep, I guess yeah, we learned a few things about each other today.
Oh yeah, we probably get canceled. This might be the last episode. We haven't done stuff like this in a while, so hopefully we see you all next week with another episode.
Yeah.
Everybody a villain. That's what we came to the conclusion with. Everybody a villain.
They like, If they come out with something like Super Soldier Serum, don't give it to them three motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back and delete this immediately if it comes out.
Yeah, I'm like good looking, and then as soon as they give it to me, like
back the shit out of a bounce.
give the serum to my boys and destroy everything else. Kill the doctor. Now what y'all gonna do? Yeah.
Oh, wrap this joint up.
All right, he gonna keep exposing himself. Thank y'all for checking out this week's episode. Make sure you follow us online, Instagram and Twitter. You can find out when we're going live on Twitch, and also when we're going to be doing our next watch party. But until then, you all take care.
He said, "Give me the Super Soldier. Thank you for giving me this, Joe." He gonna kill him.